Hey guys, what's up? It's TrueBro001 here, and I just took a 10-second bite out of this video. And today we're doing something a little interesting. We are doing this new hybrid poker IQ test. And I just thought it'd be a fun thing to record, kind of play around with it. The front end UI for this is absolutely incredible, which is what really drew me to it. And it's also just very interesting. You basically get a bunch of poker spots. They give you a bunch of bet size options, and then you basically choose what you think the GTO equilibrium of these options would be. Kind of just using general poker theory and seeing how you do. So I did the 30 spot already. I got 73%, which is also like pretty close to what Daniel Negreanu scored on it, I think. And I'm going to do the 120 spot one. For a chance at a backing deal. I highly doubt this is going to happen. There's people that can get 90 plus on this test, and I'm nowhere near that level. I'm simply a low stakes cash game player who wins probably low stakes 7 to 10 big blinds per 100. But yeah, through this, I'm just going to kind of explain my thought process and go from there and see how it compares to GTO. So yeah, let's see if I could win the $50,000 backing deal or not. Let's start the test. 120 hands. So this is going to be more long form content for sure. It says it's going to take about 45 minutes to do. So let's see how that goes. Yeah, so you can add each separate action to your mix. Oh, let me move my camera a little. That's probably better. Somewhere not so in the way. How about there? That's probably not going to be super in the way. That's probably best. All right. Yep. So we have everything here. Percent of hands completed. There's a timer on this one. 60 seconds. All right. So we have 60 seconds for this. Goes to the small blind. We have ace queen against a hijack limp or hijack raise. So it's definitely going to be 3 better call. Probably the more or the earlier in position the raise, the more we're going to want to even call just from the small blind. Otherwise, but against the cutoff or button, it's going to be either 3 better fold. So I'm probably going to go like 40-60 here. It might be more though. Let's see what GTO thinks. Oh, it doesn't even say. Oh, it doesn't even say if you're right for the 121. Okay, maybe it'll show afterwards. That's kind of cool. Okay, here, checked. Oh, this has to be a pure check if we just call. Okay, he bets 14. We're gonna... So calls definitely in there. Could also raise. This would put king jacks, ace kings kind of weirdly in the tank. We block queens, so we don't have many value hands. He doesn't have many value hands we lose to, so raising is definitely good as well. As far as sizing go, 50... Against this small of a bet, 50% does seem good. I think there's a mix of both. But I think it's going to be something like this. Would make sense to me as far as equilibrium. Like maybe a little bit more on the higher side. Let's do that. All right. A 3 rolls off. So we just called, right? Yeah, we just called. 3 rolls off. It's going to be a pure check again. He bets, overbets. Okay, so now what's he repping with an overbet? We block queens. We block tens. Overbets are usually nuts or nothing, right? Oh fuck, man, I'm in the way here too. Let me go here. Either nuts or nothing. We block the nuts. He could have queen 10. We had tree block or tens. Like the only nutted hand he does this with is tens, so we're gonna be calling a lot. When he's repping nuts or nothing, we never want to raise. This I feel here because it seems like a pure call because we're either losing or the ace queen kind of turns into a semi bluff catcher, but a really, really good bluff catcher on this board, and this bet sizing. So I think it's just a call. I'm gonna say pure call. Okay. Now we hit 2 pair. King Jack gets there. Pure check. Okay. He pots it. King Jack gets there. I see no reason to raise. It just seems as a bluff catcher, Ace King might decide to bet for value here, but it doesn't make that much sense, but it might. It could be like some merged range bullshit. But we block we block the value hands he could have had on the turn, but this completes some of the good bluff hands he had, like King Jack. It completes his King Jack combos. We only need to win 33% of the time. So I think it's just a pure call. I might throw in a tiny bit of fold. I'm pretty sure it's a pure call. It seems very pure call-y. This one's interesting because you don't know how you're doing, honestly. Like, I have no reference point. Okay, here, this seems just like a pure raise. On the button, good position. Here, definitely going to have mix of check. Decent for our range. I know, and it's either check or kind of 67% pot bet. Those are the two options. Now, it depends on the mix of them. I think it's going to be mostly check. In this position, personally, I would pure check. I would check this hand 100% of the time. But I know solvers love their mixing. So about 20% for the 36 bet seems fine. All right, 2. He checked again, so we checked back. He checked again. Now we want to start betting for value. Charge any random draws he has. He probably wouldn't check a queen twice unless it's a really weak queen, and he's going to be calling worse 8s. He'll call a 6, so we can definitely bet one street here. Either 50% or 100% a pot to charge draws. We don't want to be overbetting at all here, and I think probably closer to, actually I think a bigger bet might be better, just to charge the flush draws and any random gutters. So like maybe 70-30. Oh, fuck. What? Oh, that means every single answer I've made in the last 10 spots has actually had a percentage of the correct GTO action. So I don't know what the bet sizing here. Does it want me to overbet or check it back? Oh, fuck. I didn't include checks. Yeah, you probably do want to mix in checks. Although I do prefer betting here for protection, I do want to mix. It might want to mix in checks a little bit. Okay, so that I fumbled the bag on that one, unfortunately. I definitely should have included checks. Okay, here, check. I don't see, and there's so little value in betting here. I think it's almost a pure check. I might throw in a tiny bit, like 10% for 5% for bets. But I think it's mostly a pure check. Whoa. Okay, so the betting part, but the small bet is actually GTO. Like, it's part of the GTO equilibrium, which is interesting. So you do actually bet some percentage of the time. When you get raised here, well, what are our options? 9 is a great card to have. We block the 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we block the nuts. We block the nuts, and we block set of 8s. He has a lot of bluffs. So if we're going to raise, small raise probably works well, or a fold. And I'd say maybe 25% of the time we small raise. What better hands can we have to raise? Oh, a hand without a club. If we had no club, it would be a lot better. So maybe, yeah, 18% chance. And then most of the time it's a fold, though. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, pocket tens. Where are we at? Seems like standard 3-bet squeeze. This guy's under the gun, which makes it worse of a 3-bet squeeze because he has a very strong range. But tens are just too good to not be a pure 3-bet here. Especially like this debutting caller adding all that money in, it seems like a pure 3-bet. Might want to throw in a tiny bit of calling, like 10% or something maybe. Oh, completely new spot. Okay. King Jack. Seems like a pure call. Seems like a pure call. Let's see. If we so it's either a call or 3-bet, right? If we it's good enough to call. If we 3-bet it, it turns into a bluff, which we don't want to do because it's a good enough call. So to me, this is a pure call. In terms of a GTO equilibrium, it might want to just 3-bet it a little bit, like every once in a while. So I'll do a little bit of the 3-bet. But it generally, to me, would be a pure call. Raise 3-bet. Okay. Fuck. These spots are interesting. This is an interesting spot. I would call. Oh, it's not even a fucking option. Okay, well, it's a pure 4-bet then. Oh, wait. It seems to me like a pure 4-bet. It's too good not to 4-bet, right? But if you 4-bet, you're only going to get really called by better or ace king. But you have to take into account fold equity, which is pretty decent here. I mean, to me, I would 4-bet most likely, most of the time. Could fold it a little bit. Alright. Jack deuce suited. Depends on the player type. Generally, I'd say it's a fold. Most of what I've kind of noticed from playing the 30 is a lot of pre-flop stuff is pure. Like, it's either just a fold or it's not a fold for a lot of the stuff. So I'm just going to say this is a pure fold. Queen, king. All right. Raise. Pure raise. We get 3-bet. It's either a 4-bet or fold. Wait. With these positions, we might get away with calling. Offsuit seems bad, though. It seems like a better 4-bet bluff or a fold candidate. Alright, this is just a 3-bet. We get 4-bet. It's either a call or a fold. With these positionings, it's pretty close to fold. Like getting 4-bet from under the gun. Lower stake, like I play lower stakes games, so you have to understand my perspective that nobody is 4-betting with, it's either ace king or queens plus, right? And obviously 10s into that, you're going to run into a lot of trouble. So it's mostly a fold for me. Against another GTO player who has 4-bet bluffs here, it's probably closer to a call, so I might do 40-60. All right, aces, easy play. Raise. Okay, check. So we either bet big or we check it back and see what develops. This is a board that hits his range really well, and any bet we make, he'll have a big opportunity to put a ton of pressure on us with his draws and anything. Obviously, we're going to have a lot of draws here. It definitely seems like aces has enough, like, showdown value and not enough of the draw potential on this board to actually be a check back, so I'm going to select that. And then if we were going to bet, which we might want to sometimes with overpairs, it will help us like protect our range. You know, we'll have more than just straight draws. We'll actually have true, real good showdown value other than just like ace 10 and stuff. So probably potting it. I'm going to pot it about 30% of the time. How about? So we do check it back here. So that was a GTO option, which was good. Okay, he checks. So check, check. Now I think we can start blasting off a bit. He's not gonna check back like probably like that. Let's bet 75%, 25. This is a board we need to start getting value from his pair of 10s, pair of 8s, his his 9s, his flush draws, and we're gonna get raised here quite a lot of the time, I'd say. But we should probably pot it. What? Is it a check back? It is a check back. Fuck. Really? So the GTO equilibrium is really scared of getting raised. Okay, well this is, well, obviously I'd call here. We're never gonna raise here. What do we get called by that's worse for a raise? So it just seems like a pure call. Yeah. Wow, I'm surprised it checks aces 2 streets. I guess maybe it just means it's part of the equilibrium. It might be a small percentage though. I feel like turn has to be a bet, but there's probably some concept I'm missing that makes it not a bet. At least some percentage of the time. Okay, how deep stacked are we? 10. Okay, we're only 100 big blinds deep. How big's this sizing? It's 12 big blinds. Fairly standard, slightly large. We never 4-bet this, so it's either a call or a fold. I'm leaning towards call. Has, you know, good playability. We're fairly deep, you know, 100 big blinds deep stacked. Actually, I'm going to go straight 50-50. Okay, so we do call. Good flop. This is just a call. We have showdown value. We beat all his broadways. I do see raising for protection. If we do raise, what sizing would it be? It needs to be a sizing that lets us fold, so probably 340 or... This doesn't let us fold. Actually, well, we would never be folding, right? So, but we want to balance with stuff we can fold, right? So it needs to be 30% of pot raise or call. So we're either raising for protection or calling because we have showdown value and a lot of good runouts. We're never folding. I don't think we ever do either of these two. The amount we want to do either, I know from a lot of like good players, what I've been seeing more is probably would be raising in some of these spots. So I'm going to do like 60-40. So we just call, which is nice. Okay. All in jam. All right, so we need to be good 40% of the time, let's say. He could have overpairs. He's repping pretty much just overpairs for value here. He could have ace diamond draws. He 3-bet from small blind, has a ton of that in their range. We beat all the ace random bullshit diamond draws. They could have ace 4 diamonds, ace 5 of diamonds, which would all probably bluff like this, which we beat. So we beat a lot of his bluffs, and we also have a 25% chance to beat his value. If he's playing optimally, it seems like this is a pure call to me. All right. Okay. Do we want a 3-bet? That's the question, right? So it's obviously a call or 3-bet. 3-betting. It seems a little too good of a hand to 3-bet. But we probably do want to mix in there a bit. I know 3-bet ranges probably get a little looser once you move up stakes. So I'll do like 30, 70. So we do just call, which is good. So we just called, so it's a pure check, right? Yeah, it's a pure check. Okay. He pots it. This is a lot better for big blind calling range usually. Like, I mean, he could have 9-7. He probably doesn't have 9-7 off. We might have 9-7 off. This might be a float, actually. I'm gonna do a little bit. We do want raises on this board, and this is a decent hand to raise. If we do raise, what sizing do we want? Probably, do we want 100% pot sizing? Not really. Do we need it? I honestly think literally this is fine. It's like, what, flip a fucking three-sided coin and pick one of the three. Like, they're all fine. Okay, so we call. Oh, this is one of these spots. Oh, yeah, we fucking pure bet. Well, maybe not pure bet. We definitely have leads here. We have a lot of leads here. And this hand blocks aces, blocks tens. It doesn't really have many good runouts, so this kind of becomes a pure bluff. Actually, I'm kind of leaning more towards giving up with this specific hand. I don't think it's the best candidate to be bluff donk leading. So maybe 70-30. What? It wants a small bet? It wants a small donk. That doesn't allow us to bluff very much, though, right? Really small donk. Okay. Now we just bet big, right? We lose to his good aces, but we want value from his pair of nines and random hero calls because we're repping complete air or a 7, and I think we could kind of like merge that shit into getting value with an 8, like an actual value bet with an ace. Maybe merge it, get some checks in there a little bit. Something like this, maybe. Probably a little less of that. Probably more of the checks. Yeah. I'm surprised it led so small. I don't understand the logic for leading small there, because you're repping really strong hands. And then in order for you to allow yourself to have a lot of bluffs in those scenarios, you kind of want to size bigger. If you just like min fucking bet, it's so weird. It's like really... I'm not fully sure of the logic. If someone in the comments could kind of explain why it donk led so small in that scenario, that would be useful to me. I would fold this in a cash game. This doesn't beat any of his range. It's either a fold or a call. If we're 3-betting, it's probably a fold or 3-bet, honestly. So just 3-bet this 10% of the time. Fuck it. It's probably gonna be a call. It is a call. All right. I'll pure check. All right. 7, 8, 9. We don't really have much. Seems like a pure check again. His range is so much stronger than mine that it just also does seem like a pure check. All right, he bets. A pure call. Don't think we want to be raising at any point here. Okay. I don't think we want to turn a king into a bluff. It's another pure check. He overbets. Ooh, that's a spot and a fucking half, eh? But we block pocket kings. Block king queen. Block... We don't block 10 jack, though. That's the thing. We block king 9 suited. Block... Okay, so this could be... But he's nutted, right? Like, he's either really, really strong and will call a raise, or air, which will snap fold to a raise. I think with our blockers, it's either a call or fold. Probably leaning slightly towards a call. Against... In micro stakes, I would snap fold the shit out of this. Okay. Okay. Easy call. It wants to 3-bet 7-8 from the big blind? Really? Okay, 3-bet pot. Do we bomb these boards in a 3-bet pot? I probably wouldn't bet range here. On this board, I would be checking. So I'd have checks in my range, not with this particular hand. Oh, sorry, my dog's being loud. Give me a... But I do want to bet because he's going to be wanting to potentially raise a lot on these boards. So I'm going to say all 3 bet sizings are probably slightly valid. I don't like this one all that much. going to say these two. And we're going to lean towards a bigger bet sizing. Well, no. We're going to lean towards that one. Fuck. What is it? A check? It wants to check it, eh? Okay. What? How is this a check, dude? Okay, now do we raise? We have to raise. It's a pure raise. It's gotta be. It traps this twice that much? We never jam, though. That's too much. We want to set up a... We want to set up a river jam. Which this seems good. Let's put in, like, the smallest amount for a call. Alright, king 5. I did unmute myself, right? Yeah, okay, good. King 5. I don't think... It might not actually be a pure raise. It might be... Seems a little close. Okay, this is a pure range bet for small amount. I don't think we ever want to check back. Doesn't make sense. It might want to mix in some 60%, but it's gotta be mostly small. Okay, this overcard to that. Really good for our range once again. I think it 50% bet or a check is good. Honestly, slightly leaning towards a bet maybe, but it wants to overbet. Why? Really, it overbets. And he calls. Well, here we have ace king and he doesn't have ace king, right? So I'm thinking jam's an option, straight up. GTO might just straight jam this. I don't think it does anything but check. How does it not just put the pressure on? Do like a small amount of checking maybe, but... Damn, these are some interesting spots, man. Alright. Okay, pure check. Okay. Pure call. Pure check. 9, 10. Pure call with maybe some raises. Well, if we either want to raise or fold if we're doing this, I feel. I'm gonna say 50-50 call or fold. Okay, 8. 3-bet. I would probably call in in a low stakes game. Check, we 3-bet. We probably bet range on this board. I'm gonna include check a little bit, but we probably bet range small, yeah. Okay. He called. Thing is it worth... We definitely have checks. We definitely have checks. And if we bet, we want to make it big. It might be more of a pure check, though. Okay, it actually pots it, so we actually did do that. Okay, well, here it's either a jam or a check. Do we give up or not? We don't block 10 jack or anything. It is just better for our range. Like, it's good for our range. We have more nutted hands than he does. So pot size jamming can't be all that bad. It just seems like it would be better with any jack, any 10, right? This doesn't seem like the hand to go with for these. So I'm gonna lean more towards a pure check with a little bit of with a little bit of jams if we want, but it does seem more like a give up on a river kind of hand. Pure raise. Wow, it checks. Good thing I put check in there. It's really playing into how much like his range is stronger on this board than mine. But like, even then, he's gonna have so many bluffs that kings can just call down. Like, kings is always gonna be super profitable there. Okay, check. From what I've seen from this kind of GTO bot, is check is definitely an option here. It like absolutely an option here. And then also some bets. Some bigger bet sizings. Okay, so it bets what I would, it does what I would do there. And then I would also bet decently big on the river. Some percentage of the time and let him bluff. Actually, I would increase my check percentage here quite a bit because there is a lot of merit to letting him bluff here. But I think we mostly want to be betting. Okay. Okay. Let's see, raise. Pure 3-bet. What the fuck? It mixes calls with ace king? That's whack. That's fucking weird. Okay, checks to me. Definitely have checks here because of the showdown value. Could also bet really small. I think it's mostly a pure check though. Okay. Call, maybe a tiny bit of folding. Folding seems awful though. Folding, I mean, it doesn't seem awful. I think you can mix in a little bit of folds. Seems mostly like a call though. And then this is either a pure call. Does it want to mix in raises though? That's the question. Because he could have a lot. We get value from king queens. If we do raise, I think it's small. And a very small amount. Alright. Queen 10, pure raise. 3-bet. Plays decently well. Probably a call. Yeah. Alright. Playable flop. Check it to the razor though, 100% of the time. Alright. This seems like... Okay. It's better for his range, this board, right? Like, we're gonna have a lot of hands that hit, but he has the nut advantage. So it seems like call and playing turns is probably best. We never want to fold. Do I want to throw in raises? If we do raise, it would be to like this sizing. And we can maybe do it a small percentage of the time. We do raise to that sizing a small percentage of the time. All right. He calls. Oh, this is going to be a 3-barrel, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be a 3-barrel. Okay. We want to set up a river shove. 300 doesn't actually set that up all that much. We either jam. We can jam. Doesn't seem best. But it could be an option. Could be an option. But I think betting 30% of the pot is actually best. Oh, that's what it did. Good. And now here we're bluff jamming. The queen I don't think matters all that much. I think we're bluff jamming because we block his... First we block the nut straight. We block king 10, which he could have. He could have combinations of king 10. We block king 10. We unblock any spades. Any spade draws he could have on the turn. So it seems like an either give up or jam spot. We're never going to want to bluff for less with our range. So I'm just going to say straight 50-50. check or jam. It seems like a pretty good hand for a jam, though. Okay. Pure raise. 3-bet. I see all 3 options being kind of fine here. Call, my least favorite. So we do 4-bet. Okay. Good board for us. Betting small with the entire range. I don't know whether it likes 10% or 25%. Both see 10% seems a little small. I'm probably going to lean personally towards 25. No checks, nothing big. Just lead entire range small. So it did do the 46. Okay. He calls. This is just... Fuck, I wish that was a spade, though. This could be a good triple barrel candidate if we're trying to pick what bluffs we can have here. We're going to have a shitload of pairs of aces that we're going to want to continue betting that, are pretty good. Pocket aces, pocket tens we could have. Pocket tens might just be in our call range, though. As far as like a GTO perspective, I'm sure you could 4-bet them some percentage of the time. Anyways, we're going to start pulling out the big guns to get it all in. Could do that. I could see having some checks. I don't think overbet jamming is any good in this spot. I'm going to say probably something like this is good. It overbet jams? Oh, it fucking min bets again? What? Really? Okay, well, overbet jamming is an option here. Betting big and folding is an option here. Betting small and folding is an option here. I don't think giving up is even an option here. This is a good bet. This is a good hand to bet with. You block all his good aces that he could have. You don't have hearts. You unblock his heart draws. I think I'm leaning towards like a 67% bet. Generally. Alright. Ace 4. This is a pure 3-bet. Okay. Get 4-bet. Do we have bluff jams in GTO? I've never... I also probably should have mentioned this at the start of the video. I have never had any hands-on experience with a solver at any point in my entire life. This is all just theory I've learned. This is not actual solver hands-on experience with the solver. So I don't know if solvers have bluff 5-bet jams. If they do, ace 4 suited, not the worst possible candidate you could have. Generally, it's a fold though. And I'm just going to say it's a pure fold. Fucking really? It calls? Well, pure check. Pure check. Pure call. It raises? Why? Why does it raise? Why would we not want a flush draw to raise? What the fuck? We're beat by his entire range here, I feel. Like, this guy's range, we're just beat by the entire thing. I don't fucking know, man. At this spot, I would never get in this spot my entire life. Holy shit. Pure fold, right? What can this guy have? His 4-betting range. Ace king, ace queen, some random bullshit bluffs. He could have hit a heart draw, and then I'll be bluffing with a heart draw like fucking queen jack of hearts. I don't know. Let's call fucking 10% of the time. I don't know. It seems like a pure fold though. Pure raise. Pure call. We'll throw in a tiny bit of 4-bets, but it feels like a pure call. Yeah. Okay. Pure check. He checks it back. I'm going to check it back again. We could maybe go into a little bit of betting, but not much at all. We'll keep it very small, a very small amount of bets. I do really like checking here. It potted it. Why did it pot it? I don't get it. Why is pot part of that? That's very weird to me. That seems like it, especially from how it's kind of been playing. I know those probably, how the action it takes probably isn't like the most optimal act or like the largest percentage of the equilibrium, but it's part of it, which is weird. I feel like a pot size bet just is a weird part of that. Okay, this could definitely be a check call. What do we get value from? I'm going check or small bet here. Yeah, okay, so we checked it. When we check this hand, we do it with the intent of check calling river because every single draw misses. Now we're gonna get snapped off by a lot of jacks, or we're gonna see a lot of jacks here, an absurd amount of jacks, but he has like random flush draws, open enders that miss. We only need to be good, fucking, I don't know, like 30 or 28% of the time, something like that, probably. I think so. We'll throw in a tiny bit of fold, but it seems mostly like a call. All right. Pure raise. Calls. Could do some checking back. Could do some small bets. I would probably small bet this just because, yeah, I think something like this is not bad. Okay, we actually bet bigger than the bigger size. Okay. This is another card we pretty much have to bet on, I'd say. Don't need to bet huge, but I am including it just because, like, we might, this could be a balance range. To help balance our range where we do want to bet huge, GTO might decide this is the best kind of hand for it. So, like, it's an option. But generally, personally, I'd bet 50% pot here. So it does pot it, okay. And then we're gonna pot it again. He doesn't have any threes. We don't have to worry about him having threes. He folds all his threes. Could have 8-9. 8-9's a hand he can call with. King 9's a hand he could call with. King 8's a hand he could call with. Suited, obviously. He has missed straight draws, like 10 jack, 6-7. And he has one-off pairs of 8s and 9s, right? So he has a lot of folding to do here. I do think this might not be the hand to bet rivers with. That's like, is this the best, some of the better hands we can bet this river with? Might not even matter because our range advantage is so good. So I'm saying something maybe like this. I don't think we overbet ever on this board. But who knows? GTO's a wild thing. All right. I'm saying pure flat call. I don't see any merit to doing anything other than flat calling here. All right, checks. Makes sense that he would check. Bet for protection seems good here. We can mix in checks just because of the showdown value. But I think a nice protection bet makes sense here. It bets super small. Okay. Maybe I should have included some of that. I on these boards I just never bet that small. To me it doesn't make that much sense to bet that small on these boards. It's completely not part of my repertoire. I completely eliminate that aspect from my play. Okay. I think it's almost a pure check here. We have so many better hands we can be bluffing. But I'll throw in a little bit of pot size bets. Yeah, okay. Thank God. This is a give up. This is an absolute pure give up. Okay. 5-6, pure raise. Bottom pair, good for our range. No need for protection here, but we should be betting. Me personally, I would just bet range on this board. I would just bet 100% of my hands. Very small. You might want to mix in some checks, but very little. Oh, it overbets. Okay, so it's that. So GTO, if they, oh, it's this good for my range. I'm just going to fucking overbet 3 streets. I think this is okay, what hands are better? This isn't the best bluff hand, right? This is not the best hand. We have a little bit of showdown value, so I'm going to put check in there. But we have such a range advantage that we're going to be jamming a lot. Personally, I would check here. In my stakes, it's an easy check against, you know, optimal play. The best players out there, you know. They're gonna have folds here, right? They're gonna call those over bets and pot size bets and have folds here. But I think we have better hands to bluff river with. Many better hands. And we do have the 5 showdown value for missed straight draws. So I'm gonna make it mostly a check. Okay, raise. This has got to be a bet, right? This is super standard. Could be a smaller bet. I would bet bigger here, but I feel like GTO might want to bet smaller. And we'll throw in a tiny bit of checking, like 15. It does check it back. Interesting. It thinks it's weak enough. Like, it's a weak enough queen that checking has merit, which is interesting to me. Because, like, queen 10 against a small blind call. Oh, it's small blind. Wait. Okay, maybe it is weak enough to check, actually. Yeah, okay. Here, I mean, we got to start building a pot, right? Overbetting is probably an option, actually, here. As well as checking, I'd say. I'd say all of these have merit. Anything but going all in has merit. I'd probably widen that and do something like that. Maybe lower that a bit. And then something like that. Okay, so it does bet small. Flush gets there. We're still going for value. We're going to get... I guarantee this is going to raise us, though, and test us on that, probably. Never checking back. Doesn't make any sense. We need value from worse queens. 9. I'm going to lean towards a smaller bet sizing, though, because I think this card makes his range stronger than before quite a bit. Let's go like 82. Do we want to check back? I don't think... I think checking back here is absurd to me. Okay. Ace 10. Raise. This is pure check. Because he has more hands that hit this board in his range. And like a larger quantity of combinations than us. Like by a lot. So it's a pure check within our entire range checks here. Our entire range would check to the button on this board. Ace of diamonds is a nice factor here. Is it good enough to start raising with? I think raises and folds are all good. Even floating might be an option, but like not much. I'd much rather fold than float. But raising could definitely be an option. Oh, I didn't pick the right raise sizing. Whoops, that's not good. Fuck. Okay, so it did raise. Eddie called. Now... we block 9-10, which is really nice. And we block, and if a diamond rolls off. So this is just, after raising, this has to be a continued bet. It really does make sense to be a bet here. Overbets are all it, baby. I'm down with the overbets. It checks. Okay, well. I don't know if I would jam. I don't think a jamming range makes much sense. But definitely overbets. Definitely big bets. I would only ever bet big here. And I'd most likely overbet. Okay, sevens. Raise. I think GTO probably says it's a pure call with maybe a tiny bit of folds. Small bet. It's probably a call. I don't think it wants to fold sevens just yet at all. Ever. It seems like a pure call to me. Maybe it included folds there because the hand just ended though. Okay. Definitely want to do some checking here, but also personally I would be betting quite a bit. I would be betting quite a bit here. I don't think we'd ever pot it, but okay. We get raised. So we have a gutter. Gutter and some overs. We don't block any clubs. We don't have any clubs either. I think calling's an option. I don't think we want to raise anymore. I don't think having a raising range here is useful. Could fold a little bit as well. Okay. He checks. Check. So what's his value range when he's ripping it? 10 jack. We get value from 10 jack. Clubs miss. He'll just, well, we could get value from clubs. So I don't mind a bet here. I also don't mind just checking it. I don't think we want to bet big if we do bet though. And I'm gonna lean more towards checking. The reason is he raised us on the flop, right? He has two pair hands. He has hands that got there with a straight. But he also has a lot of hands that could give us value, right? So we don't want to bet huge because it's going to fold out all the hands that can give us value and only get called or raised by the hands that beat us. So small bet or a check. I do like the check though. He checks again. He definitely has nines in his raising range on the flop. I'm guarantee GTO has nines as a raise, at least a good chunk of the time. Like some nines is a good chunk of the time raising. I do think this is a spot where we always just go for thin value. And try to get bought in onto the gun. Didn't 3-bet, he just called. We bet, he raised. Could be a check back like 20% of the time. I don't ever think we go for more than that though. Okay. Call. Six, 7. Pure. Oh, fucking son of a bitch. Oh, you're supposed to donk on these boards. Yeah, I'm never fucking donking on these boards. Get out of here. Get out of here. I am never implementing a donk range on the flop into my game. Okay. This just smashes our range compared to his. Generally. Overbets are options. Probably more towards this side. Fuck. It bets small? Well. Alright. Well, I am going to block out my email address for YouTube. Give me a second, everybody. Let me just, oh. Give me a second, everybody. Let me just do that. And we'll see how we did. God damn it. I can't use the username from the last one, so we'll do 002. All right. All right. Age 24. Cash. I do play both, but I'm better at cash. No, I'm not a poker pro, and my ABI is very low. I am green boy, and we're gonna submit and see where we're at. All right, 58. So definitely not as good as I wish I was, but you know, that's okay. There's a lot of really cool spots there. Better than Bill Perkins, that's for sure. So we take that. Pretty much right at just coming over the peak of above average. I guess this is probably in the top 40% of people that took the test. But damn. Wait, where was I exactly? Let's see. Yeah, I'm 324 who's taken it. So no shot for a package for me, sadly. Yeah, definitely quite a bit worse than I did with the 30 hand one that gave me feedback. Every single position. Definitely a lot worse. But yeah, that was cool. I'm excited to see. The thing is, getting a 73 on this one is much harder because only the top 13 people who've taken it so far have. So it being that much lower than my last one, I'm very happy about. And then, man, 88? These guys are crazy. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys kind of enjoyed hearing my thought process going through things like that. And yeah, if you have any other videos you want me to make, anything poker related you guys want me to do, you know, I do stream sometimes Microstakes Poker on my Twitch channel, so be sure to go follow that, TreeFrog001 on Twitch. And yeah, I'd like to thank you guys all for watching. If you enjoy more long form, interesting content like this, feel free. I will have the link to this in the description, or feel free to subscribe. And then I will have the link to this in the description, in which you all better get practicing, because this is a dope tool. Full product is like $1,000 a year, so fuck that. I'm never buying that. But as far as the IQ test goes, pretty dope. Thanks for watching, guys.